Alright guys, so back at Increlution again. Haven't done this game in a while, but I have been kind of spamming it a bit. Spamming it and trying to just trying to get some progress, some actual progress on this game, and trying to actually like get to the latest chapter 10 and 11. So been just spamming it, and I don't even know like what I don't remember which chapter I left off on the last episode. I don't think I covered chapter 9 at all. I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I covered chapter 9. So, well, this video will cover chapter 9. It's not. I feel like chapter 9 is just you just talk, and then you just keep talking and hoping that your food doesn't run out, and then chapter 10 is where the actual story is. But we'll get there when we actually get there. So in this video, actually, this is a post-recorded commentary here, so there might be some like syncing issues, like I'm not really, but I'm just like kind of rambling here, so it doesn't really matter, like unless I'm really like commentating on like what's going on in the game itself. But I mean, nonetheless, the game has been pretty good. I mean, like I've been just like kind of spamming it. I've recently got another monitor, so now I have 3 monitors. I have like one playing like a YouTube video, like one playing like this game Increlution, and one and the center monitor just doing some stuff. But so that's been like just the setup here, and then yeah, but just on the third screen, spamming the game and trying to actually make some progress. And of course, if you spam enough generations, you eventually break through the actual events. So oh yeah, we're already on chapter 7. So the one thing that I thought about was to like not do chapter 6, 7, and 8 and go straight into chapter 9, because I was like kind of like I'm not really passing chapter 9. Like you need to pass chapter 9, and then there are still some stuff that you need, like some explorations that you need to do in the beginning of chapter 10. So that's like, it's kind of difficult to spend so much time without any food. So I was like, if I don't do chapter 6, 7, and 8, then I can actually fight everything, right? I mean, go through everything. So, but I think in order to actually access the volcanoes, you need at least to do 2 of the 3 chapters before you can go to the volcanoes. I mean, I don't know if I think that's true. Like, so so I guess I disabled chapter 6, so I disabled West, and then I'm going to chapter 7 and 8, which is North and East. So I'm going to those 2 locations first, and then heading to the volcanoes. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's not that bad at all. And then I save like you see there, but I do save a lot of health decay by just going to 2 locations. I mean, you don't get to train your skills and everything like that, but you want to actually, like, my thinking is that I just want to actually make it to chapter 10, and then I can train my skills in chapter 10 instead, because I think the later chapters do give you more experience, or give you experience at a faster rate than the earlier chapters, and then you can spend more time like in the later chapters, and then they'll like, and then you can increase your experience levels much faster. That, I guess that's my thinking. And then I mean, I feel like in the beginning of the game, if you go back to like chapter 1 or 2 or 3 or something, I don't really remember which chapter it was, but I was like kind of doing everything. Like I was just spamming everything and trying to like do everything so that I can increase my levels on my skills. But I don't think that is a good way to increase your levels on your skills anymore, because there are some checks, some exploration or some stuff that you just cannot do, and then if you cannot do them, then you cannot do them. So so you have to like skip. So what I've actually done is I've also turned off the hourglass skills as well, so I don't get hourglass. Like, and I know that at some point I do need to go back and do the hourglass skills, but right now I don't get hourglass skills. I skip on some of the difficult exploration path, and then I skip on chapter 6 as well. So trade-off, and I mean like chapter 10 is probably the way to go, and actually getting to chapter 10, it's the way to go, because like there are, like, now that I have arrived in chapter 10, there are so many things that give you a lot of skills or prepare you for the future. And even like you can do chapter 10, and then in chapter 10 there's a lot of digging, and then after you level up your digging, you can retroactively go back to chapter 9 and actually dig the magma. So we're done chapter 8 here. I mean, you know the magma situation, like, oh, we're not done chapter 8. Never mind. We still have a long way to go. But I mean, it's actually not that bad. Like, it's actually pretty quick. I mean, the more you do, it's always the most time that you spend will be in like the last chapter that you will eventually fail at. So I mean, eventually I will be failing at chapter 10, and that's where I will be spending the most time in. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, I guess just kind of waiting for chapter 9, and then I guess the lore or the story here is actually pretty interesting in that, like, there are, like, if you actually read the story on the bottom right there, like, it's actually pretty interesting that you meet this girl who is like has a kind of a similar thing going on as you, like, as the player here. So as you the player, which is like you're going in the cycle or something, and then you're like doing this repeating thing. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on, but I mean, developer has updated that they are planning on 20 to 25 chapters, which is like insane. That's like double the current amount. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot of story that can happen, and I mean, even though it is kind of a idle game, there's the stories. If you read it, it's still pretty interesting. It's not like an actual animated story or whatever, but the text is still interesting nonetheless. And I actually do want to speak on, like, I'm currently kind of running out of games to play, like interesting ones. I know there are like indie games with roguelike deck building aspect. It's kind of mediocre. Or yeah. But well, if anyone does have any recommendations or anything that you want to see, feel free to leave a comment, and then I can check it out and play it. So I'm like, currently I'm just like I don't know what to do. Like I'm run out of Limbus Company content. I didn't even know that it was such a short game, like, because I feel like it's kind of in early access. Yeah, but it is a gacha game, so I mean, it's quote unquote gacha game. So there is like more stuff that you will need to that they will release, more major updates, etc. So they will be constantly updating the game, and then more contents will follow. But so that leaves the game with only 3 chapters, and there's like no game, like basically no game for like a long series. I mean, I guess I will find something to record and play, but I don't know. I mean, in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep grinding Increlution here, and then also keep grinding a Limbus Company, since there is daily missions to do for that, and like getting more experience, tickets, getting more like the Incremental modules, and then like getting the identities levels up, like getting more identities, the rare 3-star identities, etc. So, well, yeah, we'll see. Maybe like gonna take a break or something and try to find a game that I'm interested in to play. So anyways, jumping back into the game here, we're in chapter 9. So like, so far it has been like we just have this falcon. We only have this falcon here, and then we have to like go into the lava. Sure. I guess. Like, I've done I mean, this is not my first nor second time that I'm like getting into doing this, succeeding in this chapter 9. But like in the beginning, I'm like, where's the food? There's still no food, and you just like, there is just no food in chapter 9 at all. The whole chapter, there's no food. But yeah, so you need to get a lot of food, or just have enough food. I mean, in my opinion, just having the chapter 7 and 8, you accumulate the food, and then you, oh yeah, and then when you jump into the volcano, you lose all your food because you, like, what the fuck? Like, WTF, man! Like I spent so much time accumulating all this food so that I can survive chapter 9, but then the game just takes it away. So this is what I was talking about earlier, in that you can dig magma here and then actually get a magma hut and magma shrine. The magma hut can lower, of course, cut your health decay by half, and the shrine doubles your health gain after you die. But I mean, digging magma every single piece like cuts down on your health, on your current health. So where's the food to sustain all that? I think I don't know. I think like you have to. It's like such a difficult thing to actually get magma hut. Maybe I mean I'll probably try it out at some point, but I don't think anytime soon. I think maybe like after I proceed into chapter 10, like, or maybe getting into chapter 11, I will come back and try to maybe get a magma hut going and reduce the health decay early on, so that so that I don't actually like the earlier you decrease your health, the better it is for later on. So yeah, we're just gonna be exiting out on this dragon and then flying away. Like you can see that there's exploration after exploration. We're just talking to the girl, right, in the volcano. Like it's hot, and like I mean it's kind of that you're just talking one after the other after the other after the other. There's like no end, but finally there is an end, and then we exit onto the dragon, exit with the dragon or on the dragon's back, and then we have to fly away. Then this is actually the final exploration for chapter 9. I mean, prior to the game developer releasing chapter 10 and 11, flying away, it would probably ended the game, and then we would have just gone over again and then try to level up everything again. But now there's cross clouds. So crossing clouds is another exploration action. There's just no shortage of these exploration actions that do not give you any choices, and then you just have to keep on exploring. I mean, like, good thing we still have like 14 cooked falcon, because our health decay was so low that we didn't need to eat as often. But I mean, that can obviously that's obviously like really bad. The first time that you get here is like, when does this stupid exploration chain end? Like, you see, like, you land and then you have to meet the people. There's no end to, like, it's just a 10 plus exploration here. But finally we do get to get some food and actually get to catch some koi fish. Yeah, so this is like, we finally have some food. I think, like, and these food actually give you a lot more health. I mean, of course, since you have spent a whole chapter without any food, I mean, like, the whole chapter 9 does not have any food, so this is kind of like a jump, a bump in the food gain category. So yeah, I mean, pretty good, pretty nice that we have this here. But I mean, if you do chapter 6, 7, and 8, I don't think. I mean, I think it will take you longer to actually get to chapter 10 because your health decay would be a lot larger, because every time you enter a chapter, your health decay doubles, and then the moment you sail to the volcano, your health decay triples. So you're doubling again and then tripling again. So and then during chapter 6, right, you're doubling on chapter 6, and then that result gets tripled. And also you're spending time in chapter 6, and as your health decay gets larger again. I think there is a hut in chapter 6 that you can do, but I don't think it's even worth the effort. It's the food there is not great. I mean, it's not bad, but it's like it's the chapter 6 for a reason, right? It's not, it won't give you as much health as like chapter 6 and chapter 7 and 8. So we're just cooking and then getting as much koi as possible, and then gonna go and explore. I feel like I remember before that we can actually get to 40 minutes, like 38, 40 minutes. But now it's like, if you see the length of this video, it's like only 30 minutes. So I don't know like how we can actually get more minutes, like last longer in this game, but it's pretty difficult, like because you speed through the first, I don't know, like five chapters pretty quickly, and then I'm not doing chapter 6, so that's like leaves out a bunch of time there. Then 7, 8, it's decent time, time consuming, but it's not that much. And then of course, like you want to last longer, but because you're lasting longer, your health decay increases, which makes you last shorter. It's like there's that conundrum there. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to last longer because I know that by lasting longer, you get more health at the end of the generation, and of course, more health means lasting longer. So on the next generation. So it's like it's exponential, like like everything else in this game. Alright, so we meet these mountain people, and then we can go either climb to the low layer, enter main square, or walk to top layer. Approaching the vault, you have to actually do all 3 of those before you can approach the vault. All 3 of those in the top 3 there give you skills or give you stuff to do to obtain better skills or to actually train your skills. I will just go from top to bottom since I'm only gonna be doing the top layer. But so in the lower layer, you have a like this health check, and then you have a you have a sandal, like what's it called, agility check. So you need like 5 billion experience in agility in order to catch these sandals, which will give you more better agilities, like will multiply, give you a better multiplier on your agility. And then you have to like do there's a cart. I remember there's a cart that also gives you more storage, I think. So those are like checks. Because you have to actually catch them and actually grab them before, or actually quote unquote tame them, so that they become yours. And then so that's like the top layer. There's like, it's like I think 3 or 4 extremely difficult explorations, or like I think it's explorations to do. And then if you go into the square, you lose the ability to actually cache more koi. So that's where in my opinion, I think that's the last one that you do out of the 3 here. That's the last one that you go and do. So you want to actually like do all the other ones so that you actually retain the ability to get more food, because koi is like the only food source in this chapter, it seems, or this early part of the chapter. And then of course here in the lower and then for the center square, you're like trying to build this like bonfire, almost like a fire pit or something like that, and for like a ceremonial celebrations of sort. And that's requires I think it's like requires some health check. I don't quite remember. And to the bottom layer here, I'm gathering the steel here to build the steel belt, which quadruples the health, my health. But if I have the triple health, which I do, it's just a like you replace the triple health with the quadruple health belt. So the triple belt with the quadruple belt. So in actuality, it's only a 25% increase. But of course, there's the skill steel hut, which requires 50 steel, and the steel fork, which requires 100 steel. Like, it's so stupid how the steel fork requires 100 steel, but it's like the lore is like in the description, it's like, oh, normally this only requires 5 steel, but because you kind of suck at making this fork, you have to actually spend 100 steel to make the fork, because you failed all of the other ones. So that's basically the reason why it requires 100 steel. But the other thing about this gathering steel is that every time you finish one steel, you lose health. I mean, it's the same as catching the seal. So every time you finish one, you lose some health. So you need like a lot of food to keep it up, and but because I don't know, man, like it's kind of weird, but I guess it's like gathering steel is like hard work or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's not easy to actually gather 20 for the belt, 50 for the hut, and 100 for the fork. So 170 steel. It's hard work. It's gonna take a long time. Like, in my opinion, maybe the fork is not necessary. The fork just lowers the cooldown, or either lowers the cooldown, I don't remember, either lowers the cooldown of your food consumption, or increase the amount of health that each food will give you. I think the latter there is much better than the cooldown, but nah, I mean, both of them are good. But I mean, like, but you can, I mean, you can always go back, right, to the hourglass, and then do the chapter 6 hourglass for the cooldown, and then do the chapter 8 hourglass for the food health increase. But those hourglass skills are not easy to complete after you do it after you complete like maybe several. It's really not easy to complete anymore. Right. So the steel, I think it's like 100 something, 110k, 115k per second per food. No, 100, yeah, 110k per second. Yeah, it has to be per second that you gain back. But of course, having 100 and, I mean, at this high level of health decay, like you get 1k per second almost, so you get 1k increase in your decay per second, so it's just gonna go down. There's no stopping it. It's fine. It's like whatever. Just gonna have to keep grinding. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here, kind of update and gameplay video at the same time, and also just rambling on and on and on. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and consider subscribing if you haven't, and liking the video, and I will see you guys all next time. Peace.